Happy Momentum Friday. I'm making it a thing. So there is the quote that I'm going to get wrong because I don't have it in front of me. I want to say it's from the Wizard of Oz. And again, I may be wrong because I don't have it in front of me. But it goes something like, what if I fail? But oh, my darling, what if you fly? And so here's a little bit of thought on momentum, failure, succeeding. I am going to start to push this idea of failure out of my mindset, out of my clients' mindsets, out of hopefully your mindset. So I was in a consultation with a new client yesterday, and we were going over some things. There were some potential concerns about her becoming a new client, and some tears were welling up. And I said, well, what's wrong? And she looks at me dead in the eye and she says, but what if I fail? And for a split second, my mind went blank because I've been there. I mean, this is my whole story up to when I started my personal journey, however many years ago now, of not giving a shit, basically. Because that's when the transformation happened for me. I wasn't doing the diets. I wasn't doing the things that society, that diet culture has said, this is how you succeed. And so I looked at her and I said, you really can't fail. And she took pause then, and I said, no. I said, let me explain. I said, here's the deal. If you're willing to try, then you can't fail. You're making a commitment to yourself. And my commitment to you is that we're going to work together as a team. So as long as we have open communication, we can't fail. Because I have what you need. You have the desire. So the possibilities are endless. And the only failing in that is when we give up on ourselves. We limit ourselves. We put the barriers in place. I can't, I won't. There's an excuse at every corner. There's no failing. There's always a workaround. There's always a new way to approach something. Sometimes it takes a little extra work, some accountability, a new way to look at it, something else. There's no failing. You can achieve what you want. It might not look the same. It might not feel the same. As they say, there's 10,000 ways to skin a cat. But just because it doesn't work the first time doesn't mean it's not going to work the 10,000th time after we've attempted it. 999 or 9,999 different ways. So we're going to roll with this idea of there's no failing. You're not a failure. And there's no failing. We're going to take the barriers out of the way that we're throwing in there that make us think it's not possible, that we're failing, and start looking around at the different opportunities that are going to get us to where we want to be. It's not a pie in the sky idea that anything is possible. We need others to believe in us, and we need to start believing in ourselves. I'm going to come back on this idea of believing in ourselves in another mastermind. And we're back for more masterminding on this Momentum Friday. And I just received this fabulous mug from the Industrious Women Summit hosted by the Better Business Bureau coming up next Friday. So shameless plug, go register at iws.bbbcommunity.org and you can hear from some amazing women, including yours truly, next Friday. All right, anyway, back to a little bit of what we were talking about last hour. We're going to pick it up with believing in yourself, which is something that's a little bit touchy, especially for women. We have this innate ability to cheer on every other person, to encourage everybody else, to give them all of the support and encouragement and kudos and acknowledgement in the world. But when it comes to ourselves, we sometimes fall a little bit short. And so that, where do we bolster that self-belief? And it comes through practice. Because do we believe the things that we're saying about ourselves? There are two things that come to mind straight out when I start to think about this idea of self-belief. And first is here in our community. I think about fearless living. I think about people like our great friend Terry Ann in our Courageous Hours and Foxy in our Fearless Hours, with and also our wonderful Amy Mead in Inspire Hours as well. But our fearless living coaches in this idea of, are you making it up or is it true? And what are those thoughts that we tell ourselves about ourselves? Is it true? You know, what are you saying to yourself about yourself? That is one line of thinking. Think about it. You know, what are you the barrier? Are you being the barrier that we talked about a little bit earlier? Instead of the time, the schedule, the money, the this, the that, the reason why I can't, the reason why I'm failing. Are you that reason? So think about that. Are you the reason? Are you the reason that you can't believe in yourself? The other thing I think about in believing about yourself is I think about Byron Katie. And she has got her book, Loving What Is. she's got what's called the work. And really along, and I'm not going to remember the steps of the work off the top of my head, but it really comes along with this idea that I just talked about in Rhonda Britton's Fearless Living, where are you making it up or is it true? That, you know, what do we believe about ourselves? What do we believe? And we need to get to the heart of it. We need to start really understanding, is what we think about ourselves true? And if it's not, what is the truth? For some of us, that is a very big leap from our current understanding. I completely acknowledge that. I completely get that place. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by looking at the reality of who you really are, because you are amazing, you are wonderful, you are completely badass just the way you are. I promise you are. But to stand up and acknowledge that sometimes is really difficult. So I want you to think about, how would a friend describe you? Your friend's not going to tell you all the things that you can tear yourself down about, because we're really good about naming all of the negative things. We can tear ourselves down 15 ways to Sunday. But our friends aren't going to name those things. The people that love us and care about us and see the good in us, they are going to name our strengths. They are going to name the things that call out the best in us. What would a friend say about you? How would a friend describe you? Think about that. What are the things a friend would say about you? Those are the things that make up who you are. Can you believe those things? I think in here in this community and on Purpose with Purpose, that's where we really embody this idea of borrowing each other's belief, borrow my belief. Because when we can't fully take on this idea, we can trust that what our friend has drawn out, sees in us, we can take that and hang on to it. We can live it until it really becomes ours fully, until we take it in as our full truth. That's why we're a community. That's why we build each other up. So think about that. What would your friends say about you? And if you need some help, drop me a message. I'll call out what's inside of you, so that you can see the things that are inside of you that start to bring that momentum forward, that bring the things forward that lead you to success. And now we're at the top of our next hour, so we'll be back for more.